Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome to today's fantastic tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to create this 3D pop-up illusion scene in Adobe Photoshop. So this is a very easy and simple photo manipulation, though it takes a little bit time and it's a little bit tricky, but it is really a fun tutorial. So let's get started. So today's plan is that we are going to take this image and then we are putting this giraffe on this phone, on this iPhone, and it is going to pop up and will create a 3D illusion in this photo manipulation or in today's tutorial. So without doing any further ado, let's get started. First of all, as you can see that I have placed this image over here and I have rotated it a little bit over here. Okay, so first of all we are going to enhance this image so it looks beautiful. As you can see at the moment it's very dull and boring. So for this purpose I'm going to use the Adobe Camera Raw filter. If you are using Adobe Photoshop CC 2000 CC or later version, then it is available within the filter itself. Otherwise you need to go into the Adobe Bridge and launch it from here. Just right click and select open in Camera Raw. All right, and that way you would be able to launch it in the Adobe Camera Raw, and then you can make the editings. And before we go any further, I would like to make a small request that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please kindly do subscribe to this channel, because you are going to learn lots of things from this channel. And if you want to follow along, you can download the exercise files for all of my tutorials by going to the link in the description section below, and that link would take you to my website. There you need to create a free account, and then you would be having the access to all the exercise files for my tutorials or current tutorials. All right, so let's get started. First of all, let's go to the filter and select Camera Raw filter, or you can simply use shortcut keyboard command, and that is Shift Control A or Shift Command A. Okay, if you are using Mac. And first I'll go for auto, and most of the time it fixes it. And let me bring down the exposure because I don't want that much of exposure. And let's bring down contrast as well, bring down the highlights as well, increase the shadows so that way we'll have some dynamic range in the shadows, increase the clarity, increase the vibrance, something like this, add a little bit of saturation over here. Okay, and let's try to add more vibrance. That way it is going to look more greener and more richer. And on this curve, let's come to the point curve and create a slightest of S curve. And what it is going to do, it is going to boost the colors and the contrast of the image. Okay, and let me just and come over here on the sharpening details option, press Alt and drag this masking until you see all the edges, and drag the sharpening amount maybe something like this. And let's come over here on the FX panel. All right, we don't need that. Come to the HSL or grayscale panel and come to the hue and take the yellow hue towards the green. Okay, and let's orange towards the red, and green towards the, let's say, towards the yellow side. Okay, little bit aqua. Come to the luminance and let's make this green little lighter and this one little darker. Okay, yellow little darker, and press OK. All right, as you can see that it has applied all these settings, so we can check what was before and this is after. All right, and now we need to lower down its opacity, something like this, so that we can see what we are supposed to create. All right, so we'll drag it back, and now we'll make a selection of this giraffe. So we'll zoom in and we'll come over here on the polygon lasso tool, so we'll be choosing the magnetic lasso tool, and that works a little faster, but that doesn't give us the realistic result or the good result, but we can fix it later on. All right, so it is basically grabs the edges and makes a selection on the edges. Okay, and you can press the space. Okay, and by pressing space it is going to, you can move the screen up and down, and though you can use the pen tool, but I'm not using pen tool over here. I want to work little faster, okay, because pen tool takes lots of time. And over here, as you can see, if there is something left, press shift and make a selection again, and it is going to add that as well. All right, I didn't do that properly, let me fix it. Okay, and let's do it, and now it is fantastic. Okay, and let's add little bit over here, so press shift and make some selection over here, and this is going to add this as well. Okay, and now let's press this mask icon, and it is going to mask it out from here. Okay, as you can see over here we have got some selection or the masking, and now we need to fix it. So we'll come over here on the properties and we'll select and mask, and it is going to open up this refine as option or refine as tool, and from here we'll select the on white. Okay, so that way we'll be able to see it properly. And let's come over here, select the radius and increase it little bit further, and check the smart radius, and make sure you select this radial enhancement or the refine as brush from here, and paint it over here, and it is going to fix these problems. Okay, if we have left something from the selection, it is going to fix it, and paint over here on the furs as well, and it takes a little bit time. Okay, and over here we don't need that, over here as well we don't need that. Okay, so now it's fine. Add little bit from here as well, and press OK. Alright, so let's smooth the edges little bit, increase the feather 2.5, increase the contrast a little bit, and select the output from new layer with layer mask, and check the decontaminate colors. That way if there is any other color, as you can see over here, it is going to fix it for us. Okay, or let's leave it unchecked and press remember setting. Next time if you'll use it, it is going to remember all this. Okay, and now we have got the scene, and we have successfully subtracted or extracted this giraffe, and now we need to fix all of this. So we are going to turn off this layer, and again this time we'll selecting the polygon lasso tool, and we'll make a selection of all these areas. Okay, and now select the giraffe layer on, and now using the brush tool, make sure you select the soft as brush with 0 hardness and opacity 100%, and here it should be white color, and paint over here. Okay, and that way it is going to add these grasses over here. Okay, And now we need to reverse the selection and remove it from here. So we'll go to the select or select inverse selection, or we can press Shift Control I or Command Shift I, and this time we'll choose the black color to paint on the mask, and that way it is going to remove it from here. Okay, and make sure it is not selected or it is not removed, lag, because we want this lag. So remove it carefully. Okay, and now let's add some more grasses over here. So again we'll select this last selection. So we'll go to the select and reselect, make the selection, and now select the lasso tool, and so we'll press Alt and make a selection of this area which we don't want, and that way it is going to remove it from here. And now press Shift and backspace, and from this drop down menu make sure you select the content aware and press OK, and it is going to fill it with this grass, and as you can see it has not done the good job. So we'll do it once again. Let's try once again, and it's not working. Sometimes it doesn't work. So what you can do, you need to paint it manually. All right, so let's enhance this area. So we'll press Shift and make a selection of this area. So it is going to add more selection so that we can take sample from here easily. Create a new blank layer and press the S for the clone stamp tool, and make sure the opacity is around 40%, and make sure here you select all layers. All right, so it is going to sample from all the layers, and press Alt and take a sample from here. Okay, and increase the size of the brush by pressing left bracket or the right bracket and paint it over here. Slowly keep on painting. If you are using the 100% opacity, in that case it will not give you the perfect result. Okay, and keep on increasing the size of the brush so that it covers more area, and more area it is going to cover, less editing would be visible. Okay, and do it. Okay, and fill it slowly. Okay, and over here as you can see we have some problem, so we'll select it and we'll paint over here as well. And don't worry if it is coming on the thumbnail, we are going to fix it soon. All right, and over here as well, as you can see, don't worry, we are going to fix it, and from here we need to remove it as well. All right, so now let's group them together. So we'll press Ctrl G to group them together, and we'll call it giraffe. Okay, and we'll create a layer mask over here, and this time we'll take the brush tool. Okay, and make sure the hardness is around 84%, and slowly remove it from the hand. So click here, and make sure you select with the paint with the black, and if you miss something like over here, then we need to change it to the white color. Okay, and slowly keep on painting, and we need to remove it from here. So we'll press X and remove it from here, and here we need to add a little bit further. So we'll take the stamp tool and we are going to paint over here, and we'll take the brush tool, with the white we are going to paint. Okay, let's add little bit over here. Select the mask and this time brush tool, and with the white color we are going to remove it from this area. Okay, and come over here as well, remove it. Okay, you can use pen tool for the perfect result, but here I'm using only the brush tool. Okay, and from here as well, and here from here we need to remove it. So this is the area. Okay, let me select over here and select, press shift and press over here, so it is going to remove it from here. Okay, so it shows us that we need to remove this area. All right, so we'll take the brush tool and this time we'll paint with the white. So we don't want this area or its leg, we don't want to remove it leg, so we are painting with white on the leg. Okay, and let the screen be visible. Okay, and you have to switch between white to black color number of times. Okay, and remove it from her body or its body, and we need to remove it from here as well. So we'll take the pen tool and we'll make a quick selection. Pen tool is very easy and useful for creating the curves or make the selection of curvaceous area. Okay, and make the selection, new selection, and brush tool, and with the black color remove it, and that way it is going to remove it from here. Okay, and you can see now it's looking good, and we need to add some blur over here. So what we are going to do, let's add some lighting and then blur. Okay, so what we will do, we'll create a duplicate copy of this group, we'll turn off this group and we'll right click and select convert to smart object, and that way we'll be having a separate layer of this giraffe. Okay, and now we'll go to the filter, select blur and choose Gaussian blur, and we'll blur it out something like this, and we'll press OK. And now we'll turn this giraffe layer on, and we'll select this giraffe copy, and by pressing Alt or Option we'll click on this mask icon, and it is going to hide this blur area. And then we'll take the brush, and this time we'll take the softest brush and opacity 10%, and increase the size. Make sure we select the white color and paint it over here. Okay, so that this area gets blurred, or you can increase the opacity as well. Okay, and if you want to increase the blur size you can do that as well. All right, but that more is not looking good, so I'll go for 10%. Okay, and let's add a little bit from here as well. Okay, and now it's looking good, and now let's create some lighting. Okay, as you can see the light is so good, we are going to add a little bit more light, so we'll create a new blank layer and will press Alt and make it stick to this layer, or drag it down, stick to the giraffe layer. Okay, and we are pressing Shift and backspace, and from this drop down menu fill it with the 50% gray, press OK and change this layer blend mode to overlay, and come over here on the dose tool, select dose tool, or you can simply press O to select it. Okay, and let's paint on this lighter area. Okay, and little bit wherever there is a light or highlights, okay, you can paint them in. Okay, and select the burn tool and make other area little darker. That would bring out more details in the image. Okay, and you can see the difference by turning it on and off. It has added some more details to this image. Okay, and now let's color grade this image. So we'll come to the adjustment and we will select the color balance tool, and let's add some cyan and magenta or towards the green. Okay, and add some blue. Okay, and select the shadows. This time add some red and magenta or towards the greener side, and little bit blue. Okay, and you can see the difference by turning it on and off. Okay, and we need to add some light source over here. As you can see, the light is coming from this side on this giraffe. So what we are going to do, we'll create a new blank layer or leave it. We will come over here on the adjustment panel and select our gradient. Okay, and on this gradient we'll select a gradient of let's say, okay, let's this one which has the white to transparent gray pixels, and we'll press OK and make sure it is radial. Okay, and drag it over here and let's scale it up. Okay, and we'll press OK and lower down its opacity, something like this, so that it appears the light is coming from this side. All right, and let's duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J or Command J, and we'll just double click on the gradient filter and we'll check this one, and over here we'll select and change its color to black. Okay, and we'll press OK and we'll drag it over here, and this time we'll select the linear. Okay, so this is a linear gradient and we'll change its angle to this side. Okay, so this area gets darker, and now let's create a stamp copy of it by pressing Ctrl Shift Alt E, and we'll go to the filter, Nik collection, and select Color EFX Pro. And it is going to launch Color EFX Pro. If you have not downloaded it, download it from the Google, and you will search Nik collection. It will show you the result. Earlier it was paid one, but once the Google has purchased it, it has made it free. Okay, so we have all the filters over here. So we'll be choosing the cross processing, and from this drop down menu we'll check which one is looking good, and I think I like this one. And with this slider we can check, we can adjust its strength, and we'll add new filter, and this time we'll add vignette lens. Okay, and it is going to add some vignette effect. So from this drop down menu, or from this place center icon, we'll place the center. So center is over here, so light is coming from this side and this side gets darker. So go down the amount, something like this. And once you are happy, you can check the result by pressing compare. So this was before and this is after. Okay, and we'll press OK. And it is going to show us the final result. So there is one last step, and that step is to sharpen this image. Okay, so we'll press Ctrl J or Command J, change its layer blend mode to linear light, and we'll go to the filter, other, and select high pass, and make sure you select the radius around 1 or 1.6. okay, and we'll press OK, and that way it is going to sharp out this image. Okay, and lower down its opacity if you don't want that much of sharpening. Okay, and as you can see, now we have good sharpening, and we need to blur this area a little bit. As you can see, this area is little sharper, so we'll create a new blank layer over here, and from here we'll select the blur tool and make sure you select the sample all layers and zoom in and increase the size of the brush and paint so that this area also gets blurred. Okay, and that way it is going to look good. Okay, and over here as well little bit. Alright, so this is our final result. Let me show you full screen. So thank you so much. I hope you have learned a lot from this tutorial, and if you like today's episode, please don't forget to hit the like button, and please do subscribe to my channel for more videos. If you have any question or if you would like to share something with me, you can always leave that in the comment section below. And I would also request you to join my Facebook group, which is called The Lens of You. There's a link to that in the description section below. And if you want to support this channel so that I can keep on creating free video tutorials for you, then please purchase my pro tutorials with huge discount. You'll find a link to that as well in the description section below. So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next episode.